Let's bring in Randi Weingarten now. Randi is the longtime president of the American Federation of Teachers. Randi, good morning to you. Thanks for your time this morning.
Good morning, Craig.
In the simplest of terms,
great to be with you.
What do America's teachers need to return to their classrooms in the fall? What's it going to take?
So let me just debunk one myth, Craig, because we put out, as you know, a plan to reopen schools safely in April. So this is not about politics for us. This is about safety and equity for both our kids and for our members and for our teachers. So what it's going to take, we just polled our members in June, and what they said was that the kind of bundle of safety practices that Europe used, that the child care centers use for the essential workers this March and April in New York, of the 6-foot physical distancing that you showed en masse, cleaning and ventilation, and then making sure that people who are at risk have that kind of reasonable accommodation, that if you did these things, then 75 to 76% of my members felt comfortable about coming back to school because they agree with Donald Trump that remote learning is not the best. They want to see their kids. They know their kids need in-school attention for food insecurity, for lessons, and that's why we've actually started working on this and the funding for this way back in April.
Randi, are America's teachers prepared to make sure that students are wearing masks, to make sure that they are socially distancing? Are they prepared to make sure that all of these fourth graders and fifth graders are washing their hands? Is it reasonable to expect our teachers, on top of teaching, to do those things as well?
So great. This is why teachers are so amazing. They understand, they put routines together for everything, and we'll have to put a routine together, and we'll have to have some fun about washing hands, and we'll have to make those, we'll have to make those things happen. But that's why, because the equity concerns of getting our kids back to school is really important. But we know if you follow these safety guidelines, then you know it's going to be about half the kids back to school at any particular time. And frankly, just because Donald Trump wants to take a risk with people who go to bars or beaches, those of us who have spent our life teaching kids are not going to take a risk with kids or with our members' lives. We know what will prevent a virus spread in a school. We've done a lot of research, and frankly, the president trying to ignore research and science or trying to pressure the CDC to change that science is not okay with parents or with teachers.
What about teachers who are immunocompromised? What about teachers who are older? This idea that they're going to go into these classrooms every day and then go home to their families. How concerned are your teachers? Again, the research so far does seem to indicate that while children don't get as sick if they contract the virus, they do carry the virus. How concerned are your teachers about getting sick?
They're very concerned about that. The other results in our poll, and not just my Twitter feed and my phone calls in the last 24 hours, but if you look at what teachers told us in late June, they basically, 75% of them basically have been affected by COVID in one way or another. So they understand it, they're affected by it, they're scared by it, but that's why it's so remarkable that with all of that, if they had the proper safeguards, they want to be in classrooms. The people I worry about is exactly who you just talked about, Craig, and also who I've heard from in the last 48 hours because of the president's pontification and hyperbole. They are now scared that, what's going to happen to them. I mean, think about it. About 20% of teachers are over 50. About 30% of principals are over 50 or over 55. So if you're in the sandwich generation, as I am, where you may be caring for an elderly parent, what are you going to do if you're going to risk not only you getting sick, but your elderly parent getting sick. So yesterday, we put out a memorandum, an opinion letter to all of our locals about how you get a reasonable accommodation, because I've been now hearing in the last 48 hours, we need to have reasonable accommodations under the Americans with Disabilities Act for people who are high risk.
Randi,
and this is what, let me just say one more thing. This is what I'm scared about. And I said this in an interview yesterday. If too many of our members believe Donald Trump's hyperbole instead of somebody like Andrew Cuomo's caution about their health and safety, we're going to have a whole lot of people retire early, quit, take a leave. So at the very same time that kids need these experienced teachers because they're facing 3 crises, they need people to kind of calm them down, focus on their well-being and their instruction. We're going to see a huge brain drain in the next few weeks. That was unconscionable, what he did for political reasons.
All right, Randi Weingarten, head of the Teachers Union. Again, we're talking about teachers, but there's so much support staff as well in those schools, the nurses, the custodians, cafeteria workers as well. Randi, thank you for your time this morning.